I have right here the Brother SP1 Sublimation printer, and it is a printer that looks just like any printer, but it's not, because the ink cartridges are actually filled with sublimation ink and not inkjet. Okay, so this is a printer that is dedicated to sublimation. It's not anything that you're going to switch back and forth with, changing out the cartridges. Once a sublimation printer, always a sublimation printer. But the sublimation ink is really cool because you're going to print your graphics, your artwork onto a special paper, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then when you heat set it, it turns into a permanent, beautiful, vibrant object. So like this piece right here, this is a mouse pad that has a polyester coating, so it's considered, or a polyester fabric on top. So it is a sublimation blank. So if you're looking for projects to work with, sublimation blank. But the cool thing is that the artwork is just embedded into the fiber of the polyester fabric, and so it's completely smooth. There's no stickers, no heat applied vinyl, nothing like that, and it's 100% permanent, which is really, really cool. Because again, when you heat set the item that you print, it will turn in, actually the process turns the ink into a gas that will permeate in with the polymers of the material and become a permanent bond. It's really, really cool. And if you're using a heat press, which is the best way to go, this was 35 seconds to do. Really awesome. So it's very, very fast, and you can let your creativity just soar. So let's take a look at the printer. For just so you know, it does have a print tray here, or a paper tray that you put your paper into, and then the paper will come out right here. And inside the lid, it's not a scanner or anything, but it does have some quick reference guides, so that way you can learn more about sublimation and where to get supplies, your heat guide. And a good news is that this printer not only will work wirelessly with your computer, it also works with the Artspira app. Now, the Artspira app has tons of projects and inspirational ideas and artwork right in the app, and the app is free. And then all you have to do is choose it and choose what you're doing, or even add your own photos or artwork, and then send it right to the printer and it will print, which is really, really cool. And they're adding projects all the time. Now, in your box, you're also going to get a pack of sublimation paper. Now, this is different than regular printer paper, so don't think that those two things are interchangeable. But you have, when you open up the pack, it even says this side is the printed side. So when you take a piece out, you're going to feel that that side kind of has a silky, satiny kind of a finish to it, and it's very, very white. The other side feels just like regular paper, and it has a little bit more of a creamy color to it. So make sure you pay attention that you have the right side up, because this is the side you want to print onto. And when you put it in the printer, you actually put the right side down, and it will print. So let me just verify if that's the case. Yep, you put the right side of the paper down, and then it will print for you. Now, when it prints, it's going to automatically mirror image your design. So if you take a look at this blanket right here, this is a polar fleece blanket. I just bought the fabric at the fabric store because polar fleece is actually polyester. So I was able to just buy the blank fabric, and then I printed off my template, and you notice that it's not a template, it's actually the print, but it automatically reverses, so you don't even have to worry about it. The printer does all the work for you. Okay, now one thing I want you to notice is that the color on the paper does not look like the color on the blanket. The print on the blanket looks like it did on my device before I printed it. It looks the same as it did on my computer screen. But when it prints very, very faint, and the colors aren't even the same really. But once it is on the fabric and you heat set it, then when you peel this paper off, it's really nice and bright and pretty. The next one I want to show you, this is the mouse pad. Again, look at the difference in the color. But it comes out beautifully. It looks faded on here. So if you have a sublimation printer, or you get one and this is your first printout, don't fret. It's supposed to look like that, and it's going to look like that. So other samples that I have here, if I can get my pages to turn. So this guy is really fun. He's one of our favorites. This one was really fun to do, but look at how drastically different the color is. You would not even think that this came from this. In fact, I'd look at that and say, hey, there's something wrong with my printer, but no, there's not. So how this is done, this was just a dollar store little piece of canvas, and I took that and set it down on under my heat press, laid a laminating pouch over the top, but I cut off, so I just had one piece of the laminating pouch and saved the other half. And then I put my picture of my dog right over top, and I heat pressed this. This is a hard substrate, so it was, this was a 90-second press for this guy to come out, but then he turns out really great, and it's the sublimation attached to the laminating pouch because it's a polyester base in the laminating pouch. Who knew, right? Okay, so other fun things that we have here is, here's my little oven mitt. Again, this is a sublimation blank, so it is polyester. And then you can also get earrings and keychains and all sorts of things. And here's this cute little bag right here. And look at Grandpa's little sunflower and how bright that color is in comparison to the actual printout. And then you can also do keychains and earrings and things like that. But there's Santa's little helper. And again, don't be dismayed that the color is drastically different when you're going to be printing that off. Now, let's talk really quick about how we're going to put this. Preferably, you're going to use a heat press because this took 35 seconds, but you're going to have to press, if you're using an iron, all over it for 35 seconds and don't shift anything. And if you have holes in your iron, which we all do, then it's not getting the heat there. And you have to, you're going to press this at 400 degrees that a lot of household irons don't go up to. So a heat press is preferred that has a nice smooth heat surface. So what you want to do is take butcher paper and put it down on your work surface of the heat press. Put your object there, then take your transfer and put it over the top and put another piece of butcher paper over the top, and white butcher paper is perfectly fine. And then that way you're protecting the platen and the heat source, and then you press it for the recommended time. And again, right inside of here, it talks about heat guides right here and how to do that. So you're going to have lots of fun with a sublimation printer. Think of the fun things you can do with polyester fabric if you want to work with that, or if you have t-shirts you want to do. If it's a mixture of polyester and cotton, look for at least 60% polyester to other fibers, because you want to have the majority of it to be on polyester, and it works best on light colors or white. One last thing I want to show you, since I said light colors or white, you can see that this is definitely not a light color. This is a navy blue quilting cotton, but what I did is I embroidered this design out. It's from OESD. I embroidered it out with white polyester embroidery thread, and then I used a geometric printout, and I sublimated that right onto the thread and got the color transfer onto the polyester thread. So just imagine all the cool things you're going to be able to do with a sublimation printer. The creativity is limitless, and I cannot wait to see what you do with yours.